The Bible, being a complex and layered text, offers profound insights on myriad topics, including life, morality, and faith. One area of immense intrigue is its stance on the zodiac signs and the broader sphere of astrology. To embark on this fascinating journey, we'll dive deep, analyzing scriptures, interpretations, and historical context to glean a nuanced understanding of the relationship between the Bible and the zodiac. The historical intersection of astrology and Christianity. The history of human civilization is painted with stories of the stars. Many ancient cultures turned their eyes to the skies, seeking answers, guidance, and divine connections. The zodiac, a celestial belt of constellations, has particularly entranced civilizations from the Babylonians to the Greeks. Biblical times and astrological practice. During biblical times, surrounding nations were deeply invested in astrology. The Babylonians, for instance, were meticulous in their observation of the heavens, believing the stars held the secrets to earthly events. This interest wasn't limited to the East. The Greco-Roman world was equally captivated by the constellations. While the Bible doesn't explicitly delve into detailed zodiacal descriptions, it certainly was composed during eras when astrology was influential. Consequently, to fully grasp the Bible's perspective, we must consider the broader historical and cultural milieu in which its books were penned. About the Magi's starry quest. One of the most famous biblical references linked to astrology is the journey of the Magi or the wise men. These astrologers from the east followed a star, believed by many scholars to be a celestial event like a conjunction, leading them to Bethlehem and the infant Jesus. This episode, as narrated in the Gospel of Matthew, highlights how even astrologers recognized and paid homage to the divine significance of Jesus' birth. However, while the Magi's role is positive, it's essential to note that the Bible doesn't endorse their astrological practices outright. Their inclusion in the narrative demonstrates God's ability to use various means and people to accomplish His purposes. Astrology in ancient Israel. There's evidence suggesting that ancient Israel, especially during times of spiritual decline, adopted some of the astrological practices of neighboring nations. The Old Testament frequently condemns idolatry and the worship of celestial bodies. For instance, in Deuteronomy 4:19, there's a warning against being drawn away and bow down to them and serve them. While these verses caution against worshipping the stars and planets, they don't directly address the more nuanced aspects of astrology, such as reading personal horoscopes or attributing personality traits based on birth signs. Instead, they emphasize the foundational Judeo-Christian principle: God alone is worthy of worship. The Constellations in Job. One book that intriguingly references constellations is the Book of Job. In Job 38:31-32, God asks, "Can you bind the chains of the Pleiades? Can you loosen Orion's belt? Can you bring forth the constellations in their seasons or lead out the bear with its cubs?" Here, the Bible acknowledges the constellations, using them as examples of the Creator's majesty and power. However, this isn't an endorsement of zodiacal interpretations but rather a testament to God's sovereignty over the universe. Tips for historical contextual reading. When studying the Bible, especially topics like the zodiac, invest time in understanding the cultural and historical context of specific scriptures. There are numerous biblical commentaries written by seasoned scholars that shed light on complex passages. Engage with these resources to gain broader insights. Engaging in discussions can often provide fresh perspectives. Join a study group or online forums dedicated to biblical interpretations. In our exploration of the Bible and the zodiac, it's evident that while the scriptures recognize the stars and their splendor, they consistently uphold God's supremacy. The biblical stance is less about the zodiac's validity and more about ensuring that celestial observations don't detract from the worship of the divine Creator. In the sections that follow, we'll delve deeper into the implications of this perspective, analyzing more scriptures and their relevance to the zodiac. We'll also discuss how modern Christians navigate the intriguing waters of astrology. Modern Christianity and astrology. The relationship between contemporary Christianity and astrology is as multifaceted as the history that precedes it. Some Christians embrace zodiac signs as mere personality indicators, separating them from spiritual significance, while others view them with skepticism. Today's Christians span a broad spectrum when it comes to the zodiac. At one end, some see astrology as incompatible with biblical teachings, citing verses that warn against divination. For example, Deuteronomy 18:10-12. They argue that seeking wisdom from the stars rather than God is idolatrous. On the other hand, some Christians feel that the zodiac, when approached with discernment, can be a fun, harmless way to ponder personality traits without attaching spiritual importance. For Christians curious about zodiac signs but wary of crossing spiritual boundaries, engage with the zodiac from a cultural or personality perspective, rather than a spiritual one. For example, reading about one's zodiac sign as a means of introspection is different from making life decisions based on horoscopes. Understand the origins of astrology and the zodiac, differentiating between its historical, cultural, and spiritual aspects. Before delving into any astrological practice, seek guidance through prayer. Reflect on your motivations and ensure they align with your spiritual beliefs. One perspective that many Christians adopt is seeing the stars as a testament to God's grandeur. Psalm 19:1 declares, "The heavens declare the glory of God, the skies proclaim the work of His hands." From this viewpoint, the celestial wonders, including the zodiac constellations, magnify the Creator's majesty without necessarily possessing the divinatory powers attributed to them by astrology. While the zodiac can be intriguing, it's essential to remember that our lives are not solely determined by the stars. Over-reliance on horoscopes can lead to a deterministic mindset, where one feels controlled by cosmic forces. The Bible, in contrast, emphasizes personal agency, responsibility, and the transformative power of faith. Practical tips for zodiac enthusiasts. Engage with the zodiac in moderation. Enjoy it as a cultural or personality exploration but avoid letting it dominate your decisions. Delve into the history and beliefs behind the zodiac signs. Being informed allows for a richer and more discerning engagement. Share your insights and curiosities with others. You might find that discussing the zodiac and the Bible opens up enlightening dialogues about faith, culture, and spirituality. Concluding thoughts. The dance between the Bible and the zodiac is as mesmerizing as the constellations that light up the night sky. Throughout history, this relationship has been nuanced, marked by intrigue, caution, and moments of convergence. What remains consistent in the Christian faith is the emphasis on God's sovereignty and the call to seek wisdom and guidance from Him above all else. Whether one views the zodiac as mere celestial artwork, a personality descriptor, or a subject of deeper spiritual significance, the Bible invites everyone to a journey of faith, wonder, and transcendence. As we gaze at the stars and ponder the mysteries of the zodiac, let us also be reminded of the infinite and eternal, the Creator who crafted the constellations and who, according to Christian belief, knows and cherishes each of us intimately, far beyond what any horoscope could reveal.